everyone. Welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom, where we talk baseball and football history through card breaks and the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. Today, we're opening this pack of 1983 Topps football. It's 40th anniversary of this year, of this set. According to PSA's price guide, there are quite a few really solid Hall of Fame options in this pack, in this set. We'll see if they're in this pack. We don't know. Rookie cards for Hall of Famers, including Mike Singletary, Marcus Allen, Kenny Easley, plus other rookie cards: Jim McMahon, Otis Wilson, Joe Jacoby, Dexter Manley, Rich Camarillo, Gary Anderson, the kicker, and then your sort of normal array of Hall of Famers of Joe Montana and Tony Dorsett and Walter Payton, Ronnie Lott, and quite a few others. So let's open this pack up and let's see what we get. Be a superstar. Say no to drugs. That's how very early 80s of a pack of cards to ask you to do that. All right. We had also, recall, we opened a pack of 1982 Topps football on the channel before. And the first thing is that the gum is, woo boy, that is real gross. Poor Johnny Perkins. Let's move that over here and let's look into the cards. Okay, Johnny Perkins is our first card. Again, this is, we're talking about an era of football that's before my lifetime. So I have said this on other football videos before. I don't necessarily know everything there is about sometimes the football that happened before the sort of mid to late 90s. If you have any stories about anybody that you find in this pack that fill some gaps that I don't have, please do so. We love it. We love the discussion. We love to hear your memories of these players that we pull out of these packs. It's the whole entire reason why we do this, is so that we can keep the history going. We keep the memories alive from when you opened these packs as a kid or when you watched these players as a kid. We try to keep it going here on Wax Pack Wisdom. That's what this is all about. Johnny Perkins, wide receiver for the Giants. This is sort of the beginning of the Lawrence Taylor era for the Giants. He had played several years for the Giants previously to this year. This is a team leader card for the Denver Broncos. This is sort of the Orange Crush, kind of moving into the Orange Crush era. Some of the team leaders around receiving: Steve Watson, interceptions, Aaron Kyle, Gerald Wilhite was the team leader there. My recollection now from looking at this is that those numbers all seem pretty low. The reason why is because I believe 1982 was a strike year in the NFL, and I think they only played like 9 games or something like that, or 10 games. So that's why those numbers seem pretty low. Don Latimer, going back to the Broncos, was a very good nose tackle. I think that's a name that I do recall. One of the Broncos' leading tacklers over the course of many years. So there you go. Neil Olkowitz. People will certainly correct me. The nice bar down the middle of the helmet there. I love seeing that. And we are headed into a great era for the Redskins. Earned degree in law enforcement. There you go, for Neil Olkowitz. Here's an NFC Pro Bowler, Larry McCarron, for the Packers, the Monsters of the Midway at this point. And nice to see a nice Pro Bowl card in there. Steve Bartkowski, quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. And you see the classic helmet there for what they allowed the quarterbacks to play with. It's pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, Steve Bartkowski. There you go. All right, here's an Ozzie Newsome card that I think is this might be like a sticker or something. Let's see. I think it's a sticker. Yeah. Yeah, you peel out the inside of it, but that's a good one. And then it like makes a whole, like the back makes this whole other image. It looks like John Riggins there for the Redskins. But Ozzie Newsome, this may end up being the sort of card that we put at the end here. One of the greatest tight ends in NFL history, and Hall of Fame player, and then spent many, many years as the general manager and head of player personnel for the Ravens after the franchise moved from Cleveland to Baltimore. Of course, then they were replaced by the expansion franchise later in the 90s. But Ozzie Newsome, one of the greats, absolutely great pass catcher, caught a lot of balls from Bernie Kosar. Yeah, that's a good one. Nice sticker there for Ozzie Newsome. There you go. Dave Jennings is a Pro Bowler, a good Pro Bowl level punter. Always nice to see punter. And as we're talking about special teams here, another, I believe, Hall of Famer, Jan Stenerud. One of the greatest and most influential and important players ever in the history of the NFL. He was like the first soccer-style kicker that came in. He had, learned that style when he was, I believe, playing soccer in Europe. This is probably getting closer to the end of his career. Jan is NFL's second all-time field goal kicker, many years with the Chiefs and then later with the Packers. He was the sort of Hank Stram era, the Len Dawson era with the Chiefs. And Stenerud was, like I said, trailblazer. Incredibly important. So there you go. Uwe von Schamann. I'm probably butchering that name. I apologize. Another kicker. A lot of special teams in this pack, which is not the worst thing. Kind of cool, actually. But anyway, Uwe. Mike Washington was a cornerback, and again, this is sort of the Buccaneers wearing their classic old uniforms. I love to see that. You absolutely love to see that. Again, please let us know in the comments if you have more takes on some of these players. Mark Haynes. This is, again, we're going into a really good era for the Giants. Not necessarily at this point, but sort of getting into the sort of as we move into the mid '80s of Phil Simms, and Mark Haynes, I believe, was a really critical piece of those Giants teams. The defense that eventually would be run by Bill Belichick. Brian Bashnagel. Don't really know much about Brian, and then I don't really know much about Guy Morris. So we'll put Guy there just for a second with the Eagles in the Kelly Green uniform. So let's go back to Ozzie Newsome. Great tight end. And that is going to do it for this edition of Wax Pack Wisdom. Tell us what you thought about this break. What's your favorite card we pulled today? Do you have a story about any one of the players in this pack? And again, I would love to hear them because it's always good to fill in some of those gaps. Leave us a comment. Let us know. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, we invite you to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the video description, you can find links to where you can follow Wax Pack Wisdom on all social media channels. You'll also find a link to a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. If you enjoyed this video, please consider a donation to one of those organizations. It would mean a lot to us. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.